Hello YouTube, once again NoShows back with another video for you guys, and today I am reviewing the Marvel Legends Infinity War Wave 2 Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure Black Widow. Let's get into it. First of all, I just wanted to say that I've been looking for this figure for a long time. I mean, I've been looking for it the past couple months, and it was released in 2018, but it was sold out everywhere, so this is a 2018 release and not a 2019 release, and I do know about the Captain Marvel wave coming up. I really want that Captain Marvel figure too, so I might as well just pre-order it when I find it somewhere for a good price. Anyways, let's get into this Black Widow figure. And starting off with head sculpt, I mean, it really looks good. My light is not reflecting it too well. Just try and dim that in a bit, but when I posted the solicitation images for this wave on my Instagram account, I just went out there and said that Scarlett Johansson could open up her iPhone X with this head sculpt, and believe me or not, this head sculpt does not disappoint. I mean, it looks so much like Scarlett Johansson and her look from Infinity War as Black Widow. It's just amazing. It's just so scary. I mean, how she can look like that. The head sculpt, man. You can see the detail in the hair. I have to dim my light for this, man. And yeah, that looks a lot better now. You can see the detail in the hair, man. It's not as blonde as it is coming out in the video. I can see it through the viewfinder, but it's just like really dark blonde with some really nice wash on it, which makes it look real. So that's really awesome. And eyes look great. They are a green color. If you haven't noticed that before. The head sculpt looks really great, man. And coming down to the west, I really like this concept of her wearing an actual protection. I mean, an armored vest to protect her from like enemies. I always thought it was kind of silly that she only wore a onesie every time she went fighting enemies and all that. I was like, doesn't she get hurt any time she fights her enemies? Like, for example, the tutorial. While she was fighting the tutorial, I always thought that doesn't she get hurt at all? So this is a nice concept that it brought into Infinity War. That looks good. Now this piece, this back piece, this black colored back piece, it's supposed to be for the storage of her batons or whatever you like to call it, sticks or whatever. But it's not so in the Marvel Legends. But I can let that pass because mostly I'm gonna have her posed with the batons. And you can see that belt connects the side holsters, and I just noticed I had one of those missing. Take a closer look at those afterwards. Yeah, man. Let's see. Focus. Belt doesn't have any design on it. Goes back to the back. And it's a stretchable material on the left and right sides, so it doesn't get in the way of articulation at all. Boots look good as well. Knee pads look good. Focus. Gotta make it focus. Knee pads look good too. And yeah, detail on this figure is really nice. Oh, and yeah, there are no treads on the bottom of the feet, but she does have peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Just wouldn't focus, but there are peg holes on the bottom of the feet. And yeah, the detail on the figure is nice. So let's get into the articulation. First of all, I would like to mention something, which is you can remove this vest, and it's kind of tricky to do. You first have to pop off the head, and then just there are tabs on the left side of the vest. You can just unplug those like so. That's what they look like. Then just put the hands forward, the arms, try to slide it off. Damn it. It's difficult. Gonna have to do this off camera. And yeah, so that's done. That's what the figure looks like. Just pop the head back on, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Sure, you can see the buckle or whatever it's called, the Black Widow logo on there. It is painted red, so didn't cheap out on that detailing there. Sure, it looks a bit lanky and all, and the proportions aren't like perfect, but for customizers, I mean, this is great. You get a vest for customs, and then you get this whole base body for customs if you missed out on the previous figures. And yeah, you can see you do have the texture in the back continuing all the way, same in the front on the sides. And yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Now I'm gonna have to put the vest back on, so I'll do it off camera too. Well, you know what, I'll just do it later. Let me just show you the articulation without the vest first, and then we'll take a look at the articulation with the vest. So the head does move up really nicely. That looks good. It does move down all the way. It does pivot a bit. It does move side to side. And then the arms rotate 360 degrees. They move outwards a lot more than 90 degrees, so that's cool. And there is no biceps roll though, which kind of sucks on these female figures. And there is a single joint elbow, which bends in more than 90 degrees, a lot more than 90 degrees. Actually, that's better than some male Marvel Legends action figures with double joint elbows. And it does have some swivel in the elbow, and wrist both swivel side to side and move up and down. And for the torso crunches forward, not at all, man. Back though, that looks good. Yeah, that's better. And pivot side to side, swivel, it's all there. Legs kick forward that much. Don't really kick back outwards. Get upper thigh cut. Get double joint knees. Knee pad looks really nice in that. Then get ankles which move down that much. They move up. Just moved it a bit. They move up, and she does have ankle pivot, and as I mentioned, peg holes on the bottom of the feet. And with the vest on, it does hinder a lot of all the mid-torso articulation, the ab crunch and all. Pivot is still there, just tiny bit, swivel is all there, but front and back just non-existent, and the head does retain all its articulation as well. And for accessories, she does come with a pair of fisted hands, and those look great. And she also comes with trigger finger hands or gripping hands, or whatever you want to call them. Then for weapons, she does come with these batons or sticks or billy clubs, whatever you want to call them, and they do have some nice paint on them, silver paint, nice sculpt and all, and you can join them to form a longer kind of stick you see here, and that looks good. They just peg in through their ends. And finally, she does come with these two taser thingies. I don't really know what they are, but they look good. The sculpt on them is good. And you can hold them. I mean, she can hold them in her hands better, but that really does stretch out the hands, and I don't really want to do that because I had to use a hairdryer to straighten them out and tighten them so that the billet clubs could go in, whatever you call it, and could go in. And you can store these tasers in the side pockets, which I just showed, and here's how that looks. Yeah, that looks good too. And finally, let's get into size comparisons. Knew that would happen. And finally, let's get into size comparisons. Here she is next to Black Panther, Marvel Legends one, from the ground team. Here she is next to Scarlet Witch, another female Marvel Legends character, and I think she scales pretty well with both of those. Next up, here she is next to Iron Man and Spider-Man. Those look good too. Really like the scale between Black Widow and Spider-Man, but not the scale between Iron Man and Black Widow. As I said in my review, this Iron Man is not a great piece by any means and is really disappointing. It doesn't scale properly, it doesn't look proportional, and it just like, the sculpt is okay, I guess. The shoulders are too broad, the head sculpt is too weird, I guess. It's too bright. Why am I talking about this figure? This review is all about her. Here she is next to Proxima Midnight, and she just towers over her. And next to Thanane, that looks good too. Always like seeing Thanos next to new figures, because that just looks awesome. Man, that Thanos figure is so good. Let's take those two down. And finally, here she is next to Goku, SHF one. Just doesn't want to stand. Here she is next to Goku, the SHF one, and Nathan Drake. And both of these I just shared just so you know that she doesn't scale too well with NECA figures because they are 7-inch, and she doesn't scale well at all with SHF figures because, especially the Dragon Ball line, I don't really know about the Marvel line. Maybe she does scale well with the Marvel line, the Bandai one, but Dragon Ball, not at all. Nice one. So, overall thoughts. Just an awesome piece, man. The fact that you can remove the vest and all, just bonus features, that's good and all. But the figure itself, man, it's an awesome figure. Yeah, I rate this figure. I really dig it. The head sculpt is good. Accessories are fine. Articulation is great, especially the elbows. That really surprised me. Removable vest, as I mentioned, is nice. The colors are great, even though there aren't many. The hair sculpt is good. Don't even know what to say about this, man. It's an awesome figure. And so it gets a 9.5 out of 10. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Sayonara. Peace.